we knew there was a little countdown clock. We now have the official cover of the regular college football game, EA Sports College Football 25. We also have a release date, as it will be coming out on July 19th. It will be available on multiple gaming systems. Danny, what do we think? We like it?
Is this the official cover?
This is the official cover.
Okay, so we just got backward. We got the backs, and now we got the fronts. Not about
the other one's like a deluxe edition.
Yeah, the other one's a deluxe edition. This is going to be just like if you just wanted to walk in and just not walk in, excuse me. If you just want to buy the regular game without all the extra stuff, this is going to be your cover. So we like it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I like a little personality showcasing. This always happens at photo shoots when you do these corny. We do them for our company. We have to put on suits, and they'll be like, "Hey, make a pose. Let's have some fun." They always use that pose. Because I bet they did ones where they were trying to look serious, and then they did some where they were like in action, and they were like, "Hey, make a goofy pose." And so they all did it. And this is one, of course, that they always use. But I was, I guess I was expecting something a little different. Maybe one player, a coach that we hadn't seen yet, other than just the flip side. I thought maybe it would have been a little bit more of a shakeup that they already gave us the back.
Tom,
It's great.
It is certainly a cover of a video game.
Yeah.
Shout out to Quinn Ewers doing it for. I don't want to ask Quinn Ewers to be something that he is not, but man, Quinn Ewers sometimes does look like he's like, I don't know why y'all invited me.
How does that affect his draft stock? Like when he does interviews, is the charisma going to pop off the screen, or pop, like
still. Speaking of, this will be the second Zach Wilson reference. It's still nowhere near the picture of Zach Wilson draft night, whereas with all the other dudes, and he looks completely out of place. Like Quinn's not embracing the moment as much, but I'll give him, I don't know if I would have as a quarterback. I'd probably been doing what Quinn was doing.
Hey,
I don't think it looks awful.
I tell you what, Quinn just looks like he's doing it the right way.
Right.
He understands that, as a leader of a football team, as the quarterback. I mean, you can play around as a running back or a cornerback, but the quarterback, yeah, no, he's doing it for everybody that's playing 5A, 6A ball down in the Lone Star State right now. Just do it. Stand up job right there.
It's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
This does not look like the mullet Quinn Ewers. Like that was a different era.
Yes.
That version would have been smoking a Marlboro. And had on some Levi's, and I mean, he would have been lasso.
So Cormani McClain, former 5-star recruit coming out of high school, there was initially commits to Florida, flips to Miami, then the drama of decommitting from Miami, and then eventually landing in Deion Sanders' February signing class at Colorado. Just doesn't really see the field a whole lot. We talked about him, as an interesting case study for the perception of what people think a coach Deion Sanders is versus the reality of somebody who is like, as you mentioned, Danny, who was like raised on Bobby Bowden and Mickey Andrews. If you aren't getting your stuff done, if you are not disciplined, if you are not meeting the team expectations, you're not going to see the field. He hits the transfer portal, and we get news this week he is committed to Florida. Danny, do we just root for the best case scenario here, that he finds his way and that this is a good spot for him to be able to capitalize on what are obvious physical talents?
Yes. Yeah. I'll be rooting for him. I always root for second chances. I don't mind where it is. I also was thinking about this because you mentioned it. He got called out publicly to the media. There was stuff on the reality show, and he was called out for what? Not going to class? Was it not going to class, not working hard, not knowing the playbook? Is that what the kind of the gist, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many freshmen that describes?
Like half of every freshman class?
Yeah. I think his reputation was really damaged by that unfairly. Because I think that's normal, but because it was such, there was so much coverage of it, and because it was Deion, and because it was Prime, because he was a 5-star, I just think if you really dug, there would be a lot of coaches who'd be like, man, I'm frustrated with this kid. He doesn't get it yet. He doesn't get it. And they think because they were 5-star, they just have to show up and they don't know they have to study the playbook. That happens all the time. So I think he's probably been unfairly judged. Now, it's put a lot of pressure on him. And I'm sure this has been very damaging for him personally and emotionally. How does he bounce back is now what you're wondering. Because this could really, he could have been like, man, I got screwed over by Colorado and I'm just going to be me. Or Billy Napier call him in and say, hey, we're giving you another chance. We believe in you. You do have to buy in. And maybe he realizes, you know what? It does take a lot more effort and it does take more work. And I better study the playbook. So we'll see. But I was thinking he's probably a knucklehead, but there are a lot of them out there in college football as freshmen.
On podcasts too.
Yes.
Yes, 100%.